Hi, this is Nutter Mom. I've finally gotten some time to make another video, so I thought I would make a video on what I've been doing the most of lately. And this is these really neat designs in polymer clay. They're basically old scrap canes that I have that I'm really no longer using. And well, I put the pictures in the beginning, so it pretty much shows you how the cane turns into these neat little pendant worthy designs. But I wanted to show you, this is where I got the idea. This is a book called Patterns in Polymer, and it is a Julie Picarello book. And in this she has some of the most amazing techniques and designs and colors, and I am absolutely in love with this book. This has got to be the best book I've purchased yet when it comes to polymer. And this is where I got the idea for these pendant type things that I'm doing. Now this is a specific technique that she has, and we're not really going to get into this too much. I'm just going to show you what to do with old polymer canes that you have laying around, or even scraps, or whatever you have that you want to do something with. And all right, let's get going. Okay, so let's get started. So I have 3 canes here that I just have sitting around from whatever I've done in the past, and I just cut a piece off of each one of them. And the size of the piece you cut really depends on what size you want after the fact. So we're going to start with this one. I'm going to take this cane and I'm just going to make it into a log. And depending on your cane, you may have to do a little or a lot of work. It depends on how long it's been sitting. This one hasn't been sitting too long, so it'll go into a log pretty easily. I'm just going to roll it up. And then the key to this is twisting. You want to twist this, and it's going to depend on how much twist or how much space you want in your final project, how far you twist. So you can twist a little or a lot, and I kind of do in between. I don't want a whole lot of negative space, but I don't want just a little bit either. Sometimes it makes it a little too busy when you twist and twist and twist. You end up getting something like this. Although I like this, it's pretty busy. I prefer something along the lines of this that has a little more openness. Even this I really love. I love how that turned out. So I'm going to make this into a log after I twist it, and it's just like that. If you make it a thin log, you're going to have a long outcome like this. If you make it into a thick one, you're going to have a more open, a more wide outcome like this. So I like them a little more wide, because then I can spread them out and end up with a more open pattern. So I'm going to cut this down the middle and then open it up, and let's see what we got. Now I really like the way that turned out. I think it was just perfect, the amount of twisting and manipulating. So you just want to make sure that you keep your mirror image together. Try to not cut all the way through, because if you cut all the way through, then you have to line it up. If you leave a little bit of just a little bit hanging on, then it's already lined up for you and you don't have to worry about it. So once I get that smoothed out and cut, I think it'll make a really nice design. So the next one I'm going to do, I'm going to use the old brain cane that I did a while back, except this time, instead of just rolling it up, I'm going to cut it in half, and I'm going to put it back to back like this. You can see the inside here. I'm going to put it like this. This will give me a little bit of a different outcome. Now I'm going to squish it together like I did before, and I'm going to make a log. And really, in the end, your outcome is going to be based on where you cut it, how you put it together, how much you roll it, what colors are in it. You want to start with something that's not too busy to begin with, Like, I'm thinking that this might be too busy, so I'm curious to see how it's going to turn out. But flower canes, I think, work out great with this. Let's see. So I twisted it. I'm going to push it back into a log. And now let's cut that open and see what we get. Oh, that's not too bad. Like I said, it was a little busy to begin with. So when you roll it up, it's going to make it even busier. So this is what you get. And it's all personal preference. I mean, you know, some people may love this look, some people may think it's a little too much. And the good thing about this is if you think it's a little too much, you can actually take your brayer and you can roll it out a little bit, and it'll give you a little more space, and that'll make a little more defined pattern. And then you cut it the way you want to cut it, and you know, you can trim it with a extruded piece so that you have a nice border. You put a nice back on it because the back doesn't end up very nice. But okay, one more. This one I really like. This is just a skull that I had done, and these are actually some pieces that I had gotten from this skull when I tried it, and I really love the colors. I love the combination. I actually did this 4 different ways. One way I did with the cane just intact like this. Another way I cut it in half and put it back to back like we did with the last one. There's just so many different ways you could do this. I'm guessing you could even cut it into strips and reorganize it. And this one, I think I'm just gonna cut it in half like I did the last one and put it back to back for sake of time. And let's roll that out. This is such a great technique, and I don't know who originally came up with this, if it was Julie Picarello or if she just embellished on it, but this is kind of just another interesting way to use that technique that she calls lizard tails. And I can only imagine what people are going to come up with this particular thing if they haven't already. And you can't do it wrong. There's just no way to get this wrong. It's all about what you like and what you're going to be happy with in the end, and you can manipulate any which way and do whatever looks good or feels good to you. So let's put this in a log and cut it. All right, there we go. This one was a little bit dry because it had been hanging around for a while, but it just takes a little warmth of your hands and a little manipulation, and off you go. So I'm going to cut this one in half, see what we get out of it. Oh, I like that. And that's the best part of it, really, is opening it up and seeing what you have. I have done so many of these because it's just so much fun, and I haven't finished a whole lot of them. I've cured them, and a couple of them I think I've sanded, but I have a whole lot to do. So there you go. That's pretty much the gist of it. I would love to see what anybody else comes up with. So if you have a chance to do this and you can post a video response, please do. I would love to see it. There's just so many ways and so many possibilities. So let me know what you think, and I look forward to your responses.